New report highlighting security failures in the Parkland school massacre.
A warning, if there are children in the room, the content here may be disturbing.
Well, with all the screeching recently about Vladimir Putin and Russia and treason.
By the deadline is a couple of days before the debate. Are you concerned about that?
No.
Jimmy, my emails are so boring.
We came, we saw, he died.
I don't want to see him impeached. I want to see him in prison.
On this Memorial Day, as our nation honors its unbroken line of fallen heroes, and I see many of them in the audience here today.
We understand that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that.
I tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news.
Everyone, this is Jazz, your friendly computer assistant, and the producer of this ridiculous show. Well, before we get started, we have a couple of rules to go over. Absolutely no doxing anyone, and no threats at all. Also, no talking about anyone's children. Other than that, have a great time. And now, the one you've all been waiting for, the Jew with all the shekels. Your host, Steve Pinder.
Well, good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is having a festive evening. I have to say, I don't know what the conversation will be like with the topic and all that, because I don't know if people understand the angle I am going to come at this topic. So that's that being said, I don't know if this might not even be even close to getting monetized. This stream, it might just be tossed and thrown up on Patreon after, because it's just, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. You know, so let's see here. Who do we got in the chat? Of course, we have Roy and Big Reg fighting over who was going to be in here first. And then following them, let's see here. Oh, God, they talked for a while. 80 came in. Then it was Miko Max. Tigger is here. Joe Cool is here. Fred, how's it going? Let's see. We got Brian Johnson. Greta, my favorite Hawaiian, is here. James Jacobson, how's it going? Let's see. Who else do I got? And Calvin and Hobbs is here. Sergeant Peterson is here. D.A. Archer. Hey, D.A., I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you doing? You're not British? Oh, okay. Living the dream in Texas. Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, Fred, that's the dream, isn't it? You would think. I think that's the dream. I think it's a cool dream. Hey, car salesman beer. Long time no see, man. How's it going? You know, I don't know. Is the dream from the heat? Is that what it is? Are we delirious from the heat? So that's living the dream? Is that it? Because we're kind of walking around like zombies in a dream state? Because it gets pretty hot here, you know. It's nothing to look at the thermometer and see 112 to 115 degrees in August. It's just awful. Fine as frog here. You're looking for a new podcast company. Got any ideas? Mine tripled their price. Oh, I don't know, DA. No. It's called Hallucinations MD? Yeah, it could be. It's a mirage, huh? You know something? Yeah. You have to understand, Roy. I don't know, man. I don't know if you'd make the vetting process in Texas to come across the Red River. Oh, 102 in Reno, huh? Yeah, but see, I lived in Reno for a year, and I used to work out in the yard when it was over 100 degrees, and it was nothing. It was like 2 to 5% humidity. You just had to drink water. You didn't even notice it was that hot. It was so dry. And I lived northeast of where you are. I was in up in Stead, where the small airport is, and that was northeast of Reno. It's about 20 minutes out of Reno. Yeah, well, it is. I mean, I remember walking outside and working in the yard going, hey, it's not that bad out here. And my next door neighbor's going, you better be drinking water. And I said, but it's not that bad. And yeah, you need to drink water out there. Oh yeah, well, Big Rig, that's different. Yeah, you've been vetted already. Roy hasn't. Roy hasn't gotten through the vetting process. Big Rig has been accepted in Texas. Yes, he would easily get across the Red River. Easily. Just saying, Roy. Just saying. Just so you know. Just so you understand that. Yeah. Oh, man. Whew. Crazy day. Look, we're going to talk about segregation, but I think in a different way. I think, I think it's important to talk about it and be open about it, because people talk about it like it's this terrible thing, because I think forced segregation is a terrible thing. But what's going on is we self-segregate. And I'm not sure if it's nature or if it's something that we do out of preservation for our minds. I don't know. But we tend to do this. And what I mean by that is we separate ourselves by all kinds of things. We separate ourselves with, income. Okay? Think about that. You have neighborhoods that are higher income. You're not going to see a $1 million mansion next door to a $150 ranch, little ranch house. You're not going to see that. It's not going to happen. Because no one's going to want to buy a house that's $1 million and it's next door to a $150 house. It's going to lower the price. So we tend to have nicer houses together in nicer neighborhoods. And guys, we do it with ourselves. Look at how segregated the churches are. Churches separate. They separate themselves, and this is what we believe in our church, and people won't come to it because they don't believe that, and this church believes this, and that church believes that, and then you have the predominantly black churches. White people won't dare go to it, and And I hear it all the time how, black people don't feel comfortable in a white church. Well, tax-based, yeah, maybe. I mean, there's all different ways that we do it. Okay, I did this thing when I was in college, and I told some of my friends this. We were talking about this the other day. And if you looked at the syllabus for the writing class that I was in, is that we had to do 2 research papers for the time that I was there. And knowing what my research paper was going to be, I did a little test, and I said, hey, I want to get a picture of the whole class. The very first day, we weren't in that classroom 10 minutes. And I jumped up in front of the class, and I handed my camera to the teacher, and I said, can you take a picture of the whole class? Everybody's like, well, this is kind of weird, but okay. So teacher took a picture of the whole class. And then what happened was, when we did my research paper a month and a half later, I said, look, and I printed out the picture. I said, this is what our class looked like at the beginning of this semester. And now, look what it looks like now. You had groups of 3 and 4 that listened to a certain type of music all huddled together. You had groups that were ethnic based, and they were segregated based on their ethnicity because they felt more comfortable with people of the same color skin. We had separation for people that were into hot rods and cars. It's like-minded. It is segregation. Well, yeah. And this is, look, as diverse as the people are in my Discord that I have with all my friends, the Discord that I'm in is extremely diverse. And what I mean by that, we have different approaches to everything. But at the same time, we tend to be like-minded on important things. There are things that we all agree on. And then there are, we have our discussions where we have different approaches to a lot of things. So we do this, and it's so easy. I mean, look at what the politicians have been doing to us. They've been segregating us based on our income, our ethnicity, our ideologies, our religions, everything. But they didn't really have to. I mean, we separated ourselves. The government's just made us hate each other. We have separation. We have clubs. We have tribes. I mean, look at how we're separated with our sports teams. I mean, pretty much any 2 fans of, 2 different baseball team fans can go to the same bar and laugh their brains out. It's great. But try going to an Irish pub in Boston during a Red Sox game and wear a Yankees hat. You're lucky to make it out of there. Because they don't want you in there. That's their place. They might as well just say, have the sign on the door that says, you're not welcome. I mean, think about it. And it's not like this is a new thing. Segregation has been going on for a long time. We do it without even realizing it. I remember when I lived in Rhode Island, there were parts of the city of Providence, the Portuguese neighborhood. Who the hell decided it was going to be the Portuguese neighborhood? Oh, this is the Italian neighborhood. Oh, this is the predominantly black neighborhood. Oh, this is the Puerto Rican neighborhood. Oh, this is this neighborhood and that neighborhood. This is the Chinese neighborhood where predominantly all Chinese people live. Why? Because people like something that's familiar. Okay, if you go to another country and you don't, I remember going into Mexico. Okay, and going into Mexico for a few hours and not seeing anybody but Mexicans. Then all of a sudden you see another family that's on vacation that visited down there, and all of a sudden you feel like drawn to them, like you want to go up to them and say, hey, yeah, not Americans, yeah, You have that desire to because, oh my God, there's something familiar. I mean, think if you were further away. Think if you, I mean, how many of you have been overseas? You go overseas and all you see are foreigners. Well, to you, to them, you're the foreigner, but you're over there and you see nothing familiar. Nothing familiar. So all of a sudden you see an American. Yeah, see, William, yeah, I see, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. They're going to find, okay, because, okay, you walk into a room with 100 strangers in this, let's just say at a hall, in a hall, 100 strangers. People are going to wander around and eyeball each other, maybe say hi, until they find someone has something in common with them. Think about that. You'll do it. You'll find someone. Maybe it'll be a T-shirt. He has a rock band on his T-shirt. You'll find some way to start a conversation because you like that band. Oh, nice shirt. You found something similar to something you like. Immediately, the segregation begins. Okay, if you have 99 white people in a room and one black person, and then another black person walks into the room, his eyes are going to find that other black person extremely fast. And it's no different if it was 99 black people and one white person. Another white person walks in the room, they're going to find that white person really quick. Not me. I'm kind of weird that way. I think I'm more comfortable around my black friends, I think. But that's just me because I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood. There you go, Tigger. Oh, that's because the one white person is racist. Oh, my God. But, okay, let's go back. Do you think that this was the way we were programmed? If you believe in God, was this the way that God made us? Made us to want to be with our own ilk? I mean, he did tell King Solomon, don't marry women from foreign lands. Well, that was because he was worried about them, making him, cater to their gods, their strange gods, which happened. He ended up putting Asherah poles up to Baal, and look what happened. So, yeah, Steve Tunis, I was going right there. Thank you for saying it. The Tower of Babel, okay? Think about it. He segregated us, set us out. He totally changed our language, okay? Made it so we couldn't understand one another. Think about that. He did that. No, I'm not saying make sure that you segregate yourself from blacks, so don't even put words in my mouth if people are getting ready to say that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is God maybe thinks that we should be with people that are equally yoked. He said that with our marriages. In our marriage, when we meet someone that we're going to marry, we should be equally yoked with that person. Means the same beliefs. Yeah, that's another thing, MD. Really? We don't. I mean, look, the whole diversity thing. Diversity is 20 different types of people in the same room. The problem is, think about the double-edged sword of diversity in the current atmosphere that we have. Diversity should be celebrating other cultures, right? Type of 1 in the chat if you think diversity should be celebrating other cultures. I mean, that's what diversity is. Is it? Type of 1 if you think that. If you think diversity is celebrating all cultures. Because last I saw it, There were some people who were celebrating other cultures that were smacked for cultural appropriation. Think about that. They didn't like us celebrating other cultures. That person, that white person that had dreads, as if that was a predominantly black or Jamaican thing. I hate to tell you, Samson had dreads. He had 3 locks of hair. That is dreads. Dreads have been around for a long time, and I'm certainly not saying that the Hebrews of past were white, not even close. What I'm saying is, what is diversity? Should we be working towards diversity? Is diversity possible? We have colleges today that are all getting ready for segregation. I put a link up to one of the articles in the show notes. Okay? We have colleges that just love their segregation. And I have got to be somewhere around here. There we go. Get this thing up on the screen so you guys can see it. This is the head article for something that I saw based on that. And let me get this up on the screen so you guys can see this. The link for this article is in the show notes. You'll see it at the bottom if you want to read this article after. But here it is here. Yeah, segregation making a comeback on college campuses. And everybody looks at this and they go, oh, why? Why do they want segregation? Well, maybe they don't like our culture. Maybe we don't like their culture. Yeah, MD, I think it's stupid to formally tell people to segregate. But, yeah, because people do it naturally, there's no point in telling anybody. There's no point in telling people to segregate. They're going to do it on their own. It's natural to want to be around people that like the same things that you do, that believe the same things that you do. I mean, I would have a hard time hanging out with someone that says killing a baby in the womb's perfectly fine, or late-term abortion is perfectly fine, or partial birth abortion, which we know is legal. I would have a hard time even being around that person. So I will segregate myself from that. Well, Yuki, yeah, everybody needs a safe space because for whatever reason. Look, I don't have a problem talking with someone else about their culture. I don't have a problem with that. But a lot of people tend to have a problem with, you need to accept my culture, but I'm not even looking at yours. So that's where I think this diversity thing is an absolute joke. It's like we're supposed to say it, but we're not supposed to practice it. We get told diversity, we get it shoved down our throat. Okay? We get diversity shoved down our throat, but when we try to practice it, we get slapped for cultural appropriation, or we get told, oh, we can't hang with you, you don't know anything about us. I hear it all the time. Yeah, Greta, I don't care about the color of someone's skin. Because I grew up in a black neighborhood, I tend to gravitate towards that. You know? I don't have a problem with that. I just feel more comfortable. And it's hard today because it's certainly in many cases not, the comfort is not shown back to me. Well, the thing is, the segregation is really hurting the exchanging of ideas. Well, Goose, yeah, I have friends that are in interracial marriages, and which I can't even stand the term interracial. Human race. I thought that was all one big happy group. Gravitate. Was that a flat earth reference? Brian, that's funny. Yeah, diversity is code word for anti-white. Yeah, in many ways it is. Yeah. In many ways. Yeah. Well, yeah, the rich segregate from poor, smart from dumb. Well, here's the deal. If you want to be a millionaire and you want to learn how to be a millionaire, are you going to hang around with people that are broke? No, you're going to try to hang around with millionaires. So, but try to find a millionaire that wants to hang around with you if you're broke. Let's see, car salesman bear. I went into an Indian restaurant alone in Fremont, California, and everyone stopped eating and talking when I sat down. I realized that I was the only one in the restaurant that wasn't East Indian. I promptly left. Oh, hell no, Carl. No. See, Carl, that is where I would not do what you did. I love Indian food. I don't give a damn. They're going to have to throw my ass out of there. Okay? No way. Let them watch me enjoy your culture. Okay? No. I love Jamaican food also. We have a couple of Jamaican little hole-in-the-wall restaurants around here. And I find that if you go in to, Indian food is amazing. If you go into a restaurant like that and you just show them how much you love their food, their cooking, their culture, a lot of times that breaks the barrier. Okay? Let me tell you something. Food has been the connector. Food has been the connector of all cultures. I'm so glad someone brought this up. Food has connected everything. Why do you think Chinese restaurants love Americans? Because we love Chinese food. Okay? Food is the connector. And if you're asking me what kind of Indian food I love, curry. I love curry. There's Thai curry's pretty good too, but I love curry. I could eat it till it comes out of my ears. Yeah, goose. Thai food, oh my God, yeah. Yeah, but you have to understand, restaurant owners, they don't care what culture you're from when you're in their restaurant. The people there might be thinking, what the hell, this is kind of weird. Because Indian food is not something a lot of white people go to, but Chinese restaurant, it's so common. Japanese steakhouse, it's common. You're in America. Of course, it's going to be Americans there. I don't know if it would be different going to another country than going to a restaurant. Yeah, all money is green. Yeah. Yeah, that's another connector of cultures. Money. Yeah, that breaks all kinds of barriers. Oh, we don't like your kind here. Oh, you have money? Oh, welcome. Come on in. Yeah, let me pull out that chair for you. You got money. So, how often, how many different ways have we all segregated ourselves? And what's the one thing you won't separate yourself from? How many people like different types of foods? How many people like German foods? Sauerkraut. How many people like that? Okay? How many people love going to a German fest? Oh, there's another connector there. Let me tell you something. You want people to cross cultural barriers? Drink liquor. Because drunk people don't give a flying hell what the hell country you're from or what your culture is. You're drinking. Because German festivals with the beer and the brats and everything else. There you go, David. Yeah, Sergeant loves scotch. There are certain things. Isn't it amazing the things that go in our stomach? Liquor, food, it breaks cultural barriers. Oh, let them steer. Oh, let me tell you something. When it comes to food, you can watch me eat. I don't care. I don't care. If I found a good Indian restaurant, you can all Watch me eat. I have no shame. I don't care. I am too sociable. I will start a conversation. If I had a bunch of people staring at me, I'll start a conversation. 'Cause let me tell you something. If you want to stop people from staring at you because you seem to be doing something so weird, ask them something. And you want to see them stop staring at you? Because people that are trying to make you feel uncomfortable, make them feel uncomfortable right back. Talk to them. They want to stare you down like you're in the wrong place. How's it going, Pastor Jack? We're talking about self-segregation, buddy. So think about what we're saying. Think about that. Think about it. We do it in schools, guys. The jocks, they don't hang around with the book club or the chess club. No. Tribalism's huge. You know, if you like a certain football team and you're wearing their jersey, okay, I've seen this happen. You're wearing a jersey, you walk into a mall, there's other jerseys, you know, people wearing other sports teams. You don't say anything to them, but you see someone wearing the jersey from your team. Yeah. It's like, yeah. Go whatever team it is. Don't say Dallas Cowboys around me. I'll flip out. I hate that team. I'm just saying. It's a huddle. They form groups. Everybody does it. Everybody wants to hang out with like-minded people. And it's not that we don't like being challenged, but there has to be a place that we like to relax at, that we're not getting constantly barraged with something that's abrasive. Because cultures, they're abrasive. I mean, think about it. You got a culture that acts this way, and then you got this culture that acts this way, okay? And they're bumping. They're not the same, okay? They're not the same. They're going to be abrasive if they're using their culture, because two different cultures that hang out together tend to not take their culture to the extreme. They find this common ground that they can talk. William, we brought up the Tower of Babel. Yeah, absolutely. Okay? Some cultures just don't fit with other cultures, and they become abrasive. So unless each one tones their culture down, they're never going to get along. They're never going to get along. Oh, no problem, William. Yeah, the Tower of Babel was the biggest thing that separated everybody. God confused their tongues, and they went off in different directions. He didn't want them all together. He wanted them separate. Jesus came to separate. He didn't come to bring people together. He said, I come to draw a line and separate people. Father from son, mother from daughter. Separate them. Well, yeah. Freelance, yeah, there's conflict in the world because cultures, they don't get along with everybody. That's why we tried to tell. Okay, here's one for you. We're in a constant state here in America of telling Muslims that think Sharia law is going to exist in the United States. Well, that law is incompatible with our Constitution. It is abrasive up against it. If you want Sharia law, go back to your country where you can have Sharia law, not here. Okay? People that come to America tend to take their culture down a notch because we are a melting pot here. In order for Americans to get along with each other, we have to take these cultures and tone them down a little bit. Because if not, they're extremely abrasive. And the only way we can bring them up a notch is to separate ourselves and segregate ourselves. So we have communities in neighborhoods that are separate. You can drive through Providence, Rhode Island, and within 10 seconds identify the communities because of the colors they paint their houses. Go into the Portuguese community. Their houses are purple, orange, and mixed colors. Colors that you would never think should be on a house, but that's how the Portuguese like to paint their houses. It's just not going to happen anywhere else. So in order for two different cultures to get along, they have to take their cultures and water them down. But that's what's made America a culture in and of itself. We take the best of what we like of all the cultures of the world because we have all the cultures of the world living here. And we bring them here and we take what we like from those cultures and we celebrate them. No, there's no magic dirt here, William, but think about that. Hey, let's see here. I'm going to put the number up on the screen and see if we take a phone call here. And if I have anybody in the Discord chat, I'm going to open up the Discord line now. So you guys can Roy's in there, but Roy's also in the chat in here. So if anybody's in the Discord that wants to hop on and talk, a lot of the moderators are in there, or they can be in there. So here we go. The phone lines are open. If you want, call up and state your case. Turn up the heat under the melting pot. Well, I mean, think about it, guys. You can't take an abrasive culture or too much of one and bring it into the United States and it be compatible. Now, the people that want to continue in those cultures, they will separate themselves. That's why we have Jewish communities where they're all like-minded. They all dress alike. I mean, Orthodox Jews in Rhode Island, I lived right in the middle of that community because my roommate was an Orthodox Jew, an Orthodox Jewish teacher. And I lived in that community. And I saw them, and they didn't just separate themselves like Jews from Gentiles. No, even within the Jewish community, there was Orthodox, there was Russian Jew, there was German Jew. The Jews separated themselves that way too. Sephardic, okay? Let's see here. Hello, you're on the air.
It's Car Salesman there.
Hey, Car Salesman, how's it going?
Good. I thought I'd tell the story in full.
Oh, go for it, man.
So I was there actually on a work trip and went on Yelp and found, the Indian restaurants with really good reviews and pulled into this first one was the one I was referring to. And I walked in. And it was relatively quiet. I could hear clanking the silverware and people chatting and stuff. And then went and sat down, and the waiter comes up, and I start realizing like everybody's kind of staring at me and not doing anything else. And what would you like to drink, sir? And I said, well, what kind of beer do you have? And we do not have beer. And and I looked around, and everybody's kind of still staring at me, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave. So that's how that went.
I wouldn't have left. I would have been like, well, what do you have to drink? And look, I'll share this with you because I've been in places like that before. And if I don't think that I know, like if they don't have anything that I can even read, or, you know what I mean? Or if I'm not familiar with their menu, I'll be like, hey, this is what I'm used to eating. And what kind of drinks do you have what kind of drinks do you have here? What kind of liquor do you have here? Give me something. What do you think would taste great? And
it's been a few years. I'm pretty sure that he just didn't serve alcohol whatsoever.
Okay, well, if they don't serve alcohol, this is how I learned about Indian curry. I didn't even know what it was until my friend took me to an Indian restaurant. Okay, and then I was like, well, and I said, well, what kind of foods do you have here? I said, what do Indians cook? And they're like, we cook curry. I said, yeah, really? And he goes, it's kind of spicy, though. And I said, oh, no, I love spicy. Please, give me the hottest stuff you got. And he just smiled. God. And he just smiled and brought me a bowl of this curry, and I was in heaven. And he seemed really, really happy that here I am, this American, that enjoyed his food from his culture so much. Because people like to share their culture. And I think when people are accepting of that, that's fine. But it takes a certain kind of person, because there's a lot of people that don't want to celebrate that. There's a lot of people that don't want to try other cultures, especially with what the atmosphere of today, where no one wants to get accused of cultural appropriation now.
I speak Spanish fluently, and so I kind of, bump elbows with a lot of Mexican folks here in California, which is unfortunately where I live. And so I feel like we're like-minded on that particular subject.
Well,
but yeah, I agree, though. It's really rewarding, too, because you get to learn more about what, how yours differs from some. Like, you just think of yours as normal and some sort of baseline ground zero to base others off of. But then when you really get into another one, you start realizing, from their perspective, there is a basis. And so it's just interesting to see two different perspectives, especially on, different things with, how family is, in the picture. Like, for example, Hispanics are really, really, really about family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, go to a
not
Mexican.
That I'm not, they are
but go to a Mexican like party, like if they have a barbecue or their backyard, they open up their backyard, they have all their family there. It's all about the family, all about the kids. It's all about, it's just they celebrate that, and that's the way they are, and that's awesome. And I kind of think that why aren't Americans doing that the same way? But I think that there is a way to celebrate diversity, but it takes a certain kind of person. And I think the abrasiveness that happens is when people feel like their culture, and this happens in America, they're like, what do you mean I can't celebrate my culture to the fullest here? Think about that, because I said that. America, we expect people to tone their culture down if it's abrasive. We expect them to. And
Absolutely.
if they don't tone it down, we're like, what the hell? Do you think yours is better than mine? Because you're not toning it down. You're in America. You're not wherever the hell you came from. I mean, because that's the attitude that happens a lot of times. I try to counter that. Sometimes I have that attitude too, because I see people pushing their culture. I'm like, are they pushing their culture on me? You know what I mean? I think that's natural. And a lot of people don't like that, and they segregate themselves from that. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Before you let me go, though, I need to tell you what happened after that.
Oh, please do.
That's an interesting little similar short story, similar length. So I pull out and I go to the next restaurant down the list on Yelp or wherever I was, searching for restaurants on my cell phone. And I'm driving up to this one that's, coming up on my directional map or whatever, my navigation. And I look in, and there's like a larger Hispanic or Mexican family at one end. It's kind of empty. There's like a black and white couple at one table, and then there was it. So I'm like, oh, that looks like, I won't feel out of place there, right? So I pull in, and what would you have, sir? And I said chicken curry. I'm the same way. That's what I get when I go to Indian restaurants, and don't really delve into too much of the other stuff. I just love the curry, and chicken curry, and mine's not so spicy, sir. But too spicy. I like spicy food.
Yeah.
Get Mexican food. I usually go for whatever their hottest sauce is. Sometimes I can't use too much of it, but I like to have it in there. It kind of brings out some of the flavors. So, but if you're like me, so I get the food, I'm eating it, and it's good, and it's hot, but I can eat it. But it's a little bit too hot to where I'm not really tasting any of the other flavors. It doesn't really taste like curry.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, the texture's there, but it's overpowering the other flavors to me. And so the waitress comes back and she says, "So how's your meal, sir?" And I kind of explained to her what I said. It's like when I get Mexican food, I like the spicy stuff, but sometimes a little too much, and I can't taste the other flavors. She said, "Oh no, sir! All the guys from India and from Nepal, they like it very, very spicy, and it's probably just because you're white."
And I would say, yeah, it probably is. Yeah. I don't know.
And I was like, I wasn't like offended. I was just like dazed, like kind of mentally dazed. Like, did you really just say that? Oh, like I could never get away with saying that about another race because I'm white, so that would make me racist.
Yeah, I know that, but it's weird. You have to understand, because we're white, it's almost like that we're supposed to just laugh that off.
Right, like
You
it's
know?
a punching bag thing. Like I kind of felt like interested. Like, could you possibly be correct? But at the same time, like kind of offended. Like, I don't know if it works that way. So that's my Indian food story.
Okay. Very cool story, actually. I like I said, I like it. Like I said, food, man, food is a way you can bring cultures together. You know, you know, I mean, go to the state fair in Texas and try some of the foods there. So
It's just like when you're out in public and someone's got a dog. It's like the dog is a talking. You can strike up a conversation with anybody if they have a dog. It doesn't matter if they're what color they are, what race they are they attractive, are you interested? You know, it's like one of those things, you bring a dog out and all the girls want to talk to you, right? You know,
yeah, there you go.
It's an icebreaker. You have something in common. We both like dogs. Well, I really like chicken curry. And, oh, well, you like my chicken curry? Oh, that makes me so happy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's funny too, especially if someone has they're walking some beautiful purebred dog or something. It's like, go up to them and say, "Oh my God, it's a beautiful dog," and that instantly will start a conversation. I don't care
they're
who
flattered,
it is.
and they're, oh, you're damn right it is.
Yeah.
You know, and they get it all the time.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool, man. Hey, anything else before you go?
Not at all. Definitely we'll call back, though, on another
Okay, man.
stream if I have anything. Enjoyed it.
Yep. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks for calling in.
Have a great evening.
Yeah, you too.
Nice stream. I like it.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. Yeah, Pastor Jack saying I have black in my blood. Maybe I knew what chitlins tasted like before I was 7 years old. Just saying, Pastor. When was the first time you had chitlins? I used to tell my friends I was blacker than they were. There's a conversation starter right there. I used to tell my friend Eric, I'm blacker than you. And he'd be like, only from the waist up. Okay, let me see here. I got 3 people in the chat. Yuki, you want to say anything? I got Yuki in the Discord chat, but she's quiet. She's not saying anything. Okay, you broke up there. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, I think people do. I think people do separate themselves out into places that are comfortable for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think that people, if how can I say it? Good people tend to attract good people, so they all hang out together. People separate themselves out by morals, stuff like that. So I think it's true. People do segregate themselves out. And I don't think it's a bad thing. You pick up what you like about other cultures, you dump what you don't like, and you move on.
Well, yeah. I mean, and you know something? You segregate. We segregate ourselves based on morals too, just like you said. Yeah. If we see someone that's doing something that we think is morally bad, are we going to hang out with them?
No.
No.
Oops, just a second. This is really tough because there's this delay on the sound, so I just hear echoes in the background. But
what echoes coming through the Discord, or are you trying to listen to the stream at the same time?
I've just turned off the stream, so I just got your face sitting there all handsome with your finger on your nose. But no, because like after I lived in Europe for 4.5 years. And when you go into a different culture, at first everything's like, wow, check that out. Wow, this is cool. And that's interesting. And then after a while, you take a deep dive and go, you know, these people are stupid, you know, because they do this wrong and they do that wrong and all that kind of stuff. And then you come to the place where you say, well, they're not wrong. They're just different. And then you go, well, no, I really don't like that about them, but I really like this about their culture. So you pick and choose what's great and you dump the rest. And I think that everybody should, if you ever have the opportunity, go live in a different place, like outside of your own country.
Yeah.
And yeah, life's good. It brought
Look, coming from Rhode
Which is
Island to
good.
Texas was a culture shock enough.
Actually, I had a harder time with culture shock moving from Canada to the US than I had moving from Canada to Sweden. It was pretty tough to move to the US.
What was so difficult?
I spent most of my time up around Philadelphia, but a lot of people were super sensitive.
Yeah.
I accidentally said the word like super sensitive and super like this was like 10 12 years ago and they were still
Okay.
all so we like this is what was one example. Went to where's the place? Amherst, and there we were working this one town, and all you saw was white people.
Okay.
And so I'm looking around, and so I literally said to this group of people that I was working with, I says, "Where's all the other colored people? All I see is white around here." And because I said the word colored, it was like,
Oh.
"Oh my God, you're going to hell! How could you be so racist?"
Well,
blah blah blah.
yeah, that's not a term that's been used in probably 50, 60 years.
Well,
yeah.
And I looked at him and I says, "All the other colors, as in black and yellow and red and brown, all I see is white people." You know, so they all had a fit about that.
Well, I mean, the whole term black and white to me is kind of ridiculous. Like I said, I used to have a conversation with my friend Eric, and he used to be like, "Well, Steve, you know, if you haven't, you know, if you've forgotten," he goes, "I am black and you're white." And I said, "Hell no, you ain't black and I ain't white." And he goes, "What are you talking about,
Yeah.
Steve? Of course I'm black." And I'm like, "No, you're not." I go, "We're artists," because we were both graphic designers. I said, "No." So I said, "Look," I said, "if we go by art, if we go by the color we are," I go, I said, "I'm raw sienna and you're burnt umber." And he just looked at me and he goes, "Damn, Steve, you're right." And I go, "Yeah, you show me one person that's actually black. Or you show me one person, even an albino isn't white."
Yeah.
Okay? It's like they want to separate so badly that they take the terminology, the labels to the extreme. It's like no one says, "Oh, you're right or you're left." Now it's you're far left or you're far right. Think about that. No one says left and right anymore. Alt-right.
No.
You got to be to the fullest or you're nothing. As soon as you pass that left or right of center, you're the extreme. And Pastor Jack's right. Wesley Snipes is damn close. Damn, I mean, he said, you're right. He is close. If there's anybody on the face of the earth that's actually black or close, he's got to be the closest to it. Yeah.
I know. I knew some people who were from Africa, and they were like, let's not offend anybody, but they were almost like blue black. They were so black.
Well,
it was blue black, and it was like, holy crap.
Yeah, I have.
And you try not to stare, but you go.
Well, no, I have
your
some
head
friends
twists
from
a couple times.
the Kenya area, and one from Nairobi, and
Mhm.
yeah, very dark skin. Actually, one of them's kind of light skinned. There's one very very dark, but I actually have them featured on my page. If you go on my page where I have my featured streams, there's one Afrogetic, and the other one is Evelyn, and you'll see them on there. Two of my friends from the Africa area. Both of them are from Kenya. Well, Nairobi's part of Kenya, but so anyway, or vice versa. Anyway, like I said, they and Afrogenic is very dark skinned, but yeah, I mean, and then of course you have the black community that segregates too. Like if someone is a mixed race or someone's too light a skin, they're actually shunned. As Pastor Jack, he'll probably tell you, he'd probably verify what I just said. If someone is too light a skin, they kind of get shunned in the black community. I remember seeing that happen. They got shunned more than me, and I was white. But it's not just
I
that.
like what Boulder's.
Yeah,
like what
look, I'm from
Boulder said.
Kentucky. All I
Look,
care
I'm
about
from
is if you like
Kentucky.
fried chicken or not, because if you
Yeah.
do, we can get along. Yeah, see, that's what I said, Boulder. I said it early on. Food brings all cultures together. Food will unite
Absolutely.
us all. That's why I said, Americans.
Actually, I'm going to give you a little story about people who would segregate themselves.
Okay, please do.
There's a lady who lives across the street. Her name is Helga, and she had a commercial sewing company for a lot of years. They do any big commercial sewing, usually horse blankets and stuff like that. And she would hire ladies to sew, but they're usually from a different country. There was Serbian ladies and Croatian ladies and Indian ladies and Arab ladies and all these people from all over the place. And what she couldn't do was stop them from bringing all the fights that they had from the countries where they were from into her shop. So the Serbs and the Croat ladies were always just fighting with each other because they've hated each other for 600 years. And she didn't know what to do. So she says, okay, what we're going to do every Friday for the next however many weeks, everybody's going to bring supper or lunch for everybody else, and they're going to bring a traditional meal from their home. And then while we share the traditional meal, you're going to tell everybody why you came to Canada. And they were like, oh, okay, ladies trying to outcook each other and stuff. So they'd all bring in these fabulous foods every Friday and all say, why they came to Canada. Oh, I was escaping, persecution. Oh, I was escaping a shitty life. Oh, I left, terrible family or something like that. And so then as they started eating over this food every Friday, they started to get to know each other better. And eventually they all realized that they all came to Canada for a better life. And then towards the end, Helga said, okay, so you all came here, and Helga's Hungarian, so she even came to Canada for a better life. And she says, okay, we all came here for a better life. Why don't we live that better life and leave all our country's problems where they came from in the countries we left? And then all the ladies looked at each other, went, yeah, and then they got along after that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it was over food,
Yeah.
And the conversation's like, what's this made out of? Oh, this is XYZ. You put XYZ in it? Yeah, I do. That kind of thing. So life was fine.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I saw this firsthand too with the food, because everybody knows that on Friday nights I have my Shabbat with my family, break bread, drink wine, and celebrate the beginning of the Sabbath. Well, back a few years ago when I was fighting on a regular basis, we would do the fight class on Friday night. And right after the fight class, we would all get together, soak our wounds, and go break bread and do Shabbat. And we had atheists. There were people from all different ilks. There was Buddhists. There were, different types of Christians in there. Jews. It didn't matter. The bread, the wine, the celebration brought us all together. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I mean, like I said, atheists were like, they didn't care if I was praying. They didn't care. It was the fellowship, the food, the fellowship. That is the key to mixing cultures. Like I said. I
think so too.
Yeah.
And I think also, there's that old line, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach.
That's the truth. Yeah.
And sometimes the worst thing you can do to your mom or to your auntie is refuse the food that she's prepared
Oh
for
my
you,
God.
because it's a part of her love and showing you how much she loves you. And so to reject her food is to reject her.
Yeah.
So I think food is an integral part of how we deal with each other.
Oh God,
And,
yeah.
It's really crazy important, I think.
Yeah, I remember because my dad's side was Spanish Sephardic Jew. That's what Sephardic is. It's Spanish Jew, and my mother's side was Italian. So I remember going over my grandmother's house, my grandmother on my mother's side, and it didn't matter if we just ate. She had to cook something for you. It's so important. They have to cook something for you because that's their way of saying, I love you. Please accept my love and eat this food. So it didn't matter. You had to eat something. You had to tell her how wonderful it was. And it was. My grandmother was an amazing cook. That's why my mother cooked so well. And I think that's why I cook I'm pretty good. I can cook Italian food really well. But, yeah, if you want to win someone over, cook a good meal for them, especially a dude. Guys, if you tell me a guy out there who's married that they just loved their wife cooking for them. My wife just cooked an amazing meal tonight. And I love cooking for her too because it's the way I show how much I care. Okay? But my wife cooked a meal tonight, which was awesome. So
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
And since I'm still working and my husband is retired, he cooks for me now. And it's his way to, he's a bit competitive. He's super competitive anyway, but
yeah,
he always tries to make better and better, because what he wants is to, see me light up and go, oh my God, that tuna is so fantastic, because now he's showing me how he loves me with the food he makes us.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
Oh, MD just said, so a buffet is an orgy.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Oh.
A funny thing I used to say all the time was like, food is better than sex. And somebody said, oh, you must have lousy sex. And I said, no, I've had incredible food. And I can eat all the food I want from wherever I want. And I don't have to feel guilty about it. Yeah, when it comes to sex, I'm on a diet with my husband. But food, anything goes.
Oh, Curtis, that's so wrong. He says if his wife cooks a bad meal, she knows what's coming.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Takeout pizza or Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's what's coming.
Wow, it's amazing how fast an hour went by tonight. Holy cow.
I'm going to get off in case somebody else wants to call in or anything, but it's been a really great talking to you.
Thank you,
Mr.
Yuki.
P.
Thank you very much.
And we'll talk to you later, okay, big guy?
Sure thing. Have a good evening. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's the Discord. And like I said, that's a very closed group in the Discord, so I am building a Discord for the community here, so all you guys that want to hop on there and are able to talk to me without calling in can do that. So that's going to be, it's there, it's just not where I want it. Yeah, Pastor, call in. Call in, man. I'm waiting. Okay, Curtis. Oh, I understand it. She's got to. Oh, so if she cooks a bad meal, she's got to make up for it in other ways. Oh yeah, I'm there with you, brother. Curtis, yeah, spot on, man. I'm there with you. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're seeing eye to eye on that one. Yeah. You abusive-minded boy. Hey, Carolina, how you doing? Yeah, Pastor, if you call in, do you want me to get the keyboard going? I'm waiting, man. No, Curtis, man, I don't know if you were messing with me or not, but you're spot on, man. Yeah, definitely. Oh, Roy, please, you're not married. That's why. Look at the way you are. You're married. You're not married, man. It's because of that. Yes, it's Greta's birthday. Okay. Oh, dang it. I just went to answer it. If that was you, call in again. Pastor Jack, call in again. I just went to answer it. Guys, I look for the phone number, and it's kind of printed small on there before I answer the phone. Just so I know. I'm kind of waiting for my friend to call. There we go. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes, how you doing, Steve?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good, Pastor Jack. What's up?
Oh, nothing. I was thinking about segregation,
Okay.
and I got a good one for you.
Okay, man.
When you come down here to California, I know it's nowhere near me, though, so this is LOL. So maybe we can go hang out at Sambo's restaurant.
Just do it. Is it what
It's
kind
way
of,
down there by L.A. It's down there
Okay.
by Los Angeles.
yeah, but what kind of food we talking about? We talking about ethnic food?
Yeah, remember if you remember the history of Sambo's, then you probably understand what I'm talking about.
No.
Sambo's restaurant.
Okay.
Okay, well, his logo. It was real dark with red lips,
Uh-huh.
and they turned it into a word out of Acts 13:1.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yep.
Okay, you know all the restaurants closed except for one, and it's in Santa Barbara, California. I'm thinking
Uh-huh.
all of them is closed down. I think that's when Denny's came up and started snatching them up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to, I try to put that in the chat, so I guess they kept kicking it out. They didn't want that word in there. But
I saw
heard
it
it
in
was
there.
a pretty good restaurant.
Okay.
So, I just wanted to be funny and share that with you. I said, well, when
Yeah.
Steve come down here, since he half black, we gonna go to Sambo's
Okay.
and have a good time.
Yeah, I didn't remember the name until you described that. Then I knew exactly what you were talking about. Okay. So yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't remember, Steve.
Oh, come on, man. It's not like I lived in California. I know I'm half black to you, but okay.
Yes, and this weekend I'm supposed to be going to a family reunion. I think they're doing 2 hogs and a half a cow.
Okay.
I said, wow. I'm not gonna do no cooking. I'm gonna do some eating now, but I ain't
Okay.
doing no cooking.
Ham hocks and beans?
Oh yeah,
Okay, okay.
They said they got 2. They're gonna do 2 pigs and 1 cow, basically. So I'm waiting on it.
Everybody's going, what? Steve's a half black Jew?
Steve is half black, and he just don't realize it yet.
I just don't realize it yet. Well, you know the sugar that they put in ham hocks and beans. Oh my God! No wonder people don't go into a diabetic coma. Okay.
You know what? The other day I cooked me some frog legs. I cooked me some frog legs and some fried green tomatoes.
That sounds good. Well, you know, my kid, when we go out to my friend's ranch, there's a huge stock tank around the ranch, and all the young guys, they go out and they go frog hunting with their 22s. And the bullfrogs down in Texas, from, when you stretch the legs all the way out and the body, they're 1.5 feet long. They're huge. And they'll go out and they'll get a dozen of those things. They'll come back and they'll clean them all out and they'll cook them over the fire. Oh, my God.
Yes.
That is some
good
tasting.
They are delicious.
Yep. Yum.
Yes.
Yeah.
See,
I'm telling you, man. Food, man. Food.
I'm planning on coming to Texas pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay. You got to tell me when and where.
Well, I'm just waiting on till the football season kick off for the XFL, because Vince McMahon, he's doing it live this time. I got to come down that way.
Well, do you know that the headquarters for the XFL is going to be right here in Arlington?
Wow. I mean, everything. I mean, I know he was doing it. Somebody sent me a link. I seen something on ESPN about it, but I didn't catch it. And so Vince is really doing it big. And if you like sports, he got Bob Stortz. I think he did. I think he was the coach for Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So he's over there. So he's calling in some big time people in there.
Well, here's what's going on. The Texas Ranger Stadium. The Texas Ranger Stadium. This will be the last season that the baseball team's playing in that stadium, because the new one will be built for next year. That
Yes.
Texas Ranger Stadium will be turned into the headquarters of the XFL. So we're going to have Dallas
Wow.
Cowboy Stadium, Texas Ranger Stadium, and the XFL Stadium literally hundreds of feet from each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
How much money do Vince McMahon have?
He's got money, and he's got investors. That's the thing. This time he's got a lot of backing. He's got a lot of backing.
Yeah.
He got, 10 teams they're starting it off with? You
I
know,
think it's 8.
8? I thought it was 10. Okay, I'll have to look at the roster again because we have it all up on our sports forum, and I'll have to go back and look.
Well,
but some people are laughing
Wow.
at the team names, but yeah, some of the team names are kind of funny, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Did you see the preview, Steve?
Yeah, it's the freaking thing.
There was a couple of teams I'm jumping on right now. I liked it, the one about the swamp. Florida, Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, when they did that shooting for that, I love it. They got the swamp area.
Okay.
They got an alligator going around. I said, I gotta jump on the bandwagon. So my question to you, Steve, before I let you go, do you think this is going to be a flop, or you think he's going to do better than the last time?
I thought he did good the last time, but people I don't think got it. Now they're so tired of professional football, the NFL I'm talking about. They're so sick of the crybabies, and it's more about politics now and their agenda than it is about playing the damn game. I think XFL has a chance right now to capitalize on what the NFL has lost.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay, well, I think he's doing a great job, because I don't know whoever the coaches was from the last time he did it. I mean, he just said it was rumored that they're going to have some scouts out there, so some people are liable to get picked up for the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving up some big money to. He said, "I just know. I listened to some of the podcast stuff. It's going to be better than the the AAF. So that's what I heard, and it's gonna. I think it's going to be not a flop. I think it's going to carry on. It's going to carry on.
I think it's going to be good. And look at what happened last time. The XFL introduced the guide wire camera system that runs down the center of the field on that hanging wire. The XFL was the first one to do that. After the XFL was done, NFL picked up on that. So they picked up some stuff that they saw the XFL was doing right. Now, this is what will make the XFL successful. If they stop being candy asses, because the NFL has turned into a bunch of crybabies. And what I mean by that is, I think their equipment, they have so much padding on them that they're hitting so hard now because they don't feel it, and they hit one wrong. They just hit slightly wrong when you got neck injuries, bad ones, because there's too much padding. People are able to hit too hard, and if they make a mistake, the injuries are devastating. I think we need to reduce the amount of padding because I think it's going to make people much – and if the XFL does that – I think, and they've talked about it, and I think that what that's going to do is bring back, they're going to bring back a better type of football. And truth be told, I think if the XFL really wants to win, bring back Iron Man football.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there, Steve.
Yeah, Iron Man football, where defense and offense are all the same. You play offense and defense. Then we'll see, because that's what it used to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it used to be like that. Yep, there wasn't. Yeah,
that had to be years ago.
Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah, it was years ago. We're talking about Leatherhead football days. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you played offense, you played defense too. You just wasn't coming off that field.
No, yeah, you weren't coming off that field, and they played. Oh yeah, they played, and the thing is, there were less injuries. Because you didn't have the padding gives you bravery. You can hit unbelievably hard. The problem is if you make a mistake in how you hit and go head to head at the kind of impacts they're having, they're just wrecking. They're getting seriously hurt. I think if you want to reduce concussions, put a leather helmet on. You'll reduce concussions because people will not hit like they're hitting now.
Okay. My question is, did you already choose your team yet, Steve? Not because you're from Texas, so did you choose your team yet?
Yeah, I did, and because I can't stand the Dallas Cowboys, I've chosen our Dallas team, okay, which is another team that's not really in Dallas, but they're calling it Dallas. But
Okay.
I'll let that slide again because I hate the Cowboys. This is my way of thumbing my nose at the Cowboys by saying, well, I like this Dallas team, not you. Okay.
Okay.
Look, the way I see it, the Dallas Cowboys are going to go, this is so bad, 16-4, 16 arrests and 4 convictions. Okay? So that's this is how I look at them every year. They get arrested more than any other team. Come on. So anyway,
Pretty much.
I gotta get off sports, or we'll be on here all night long. Okay.
Okay, Steve. I'll talk to you later, bro.
Okay, brother. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody, and we're gonna call it a night on that. And I'm gonna shut down Discord. They are now muted here at my end, anyway. And we're gonna start playing some music and getting ready to get out of here. Yeah. Why the heck isn't that wanting to play? That's weird. There we go. There we go. That was what was wrong. Why is that not playing? That's unusual. Huh. Hey guys, can you hear that music? Because I'm not getting any response from it. That's kind of unique. Oh, there we go. Now you can hear it. Yeah. Yeah, now you get to see the planet go boom. Just like Greta said it would. You know, Greta's still here. And happy birthday to Greta. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Greta. Happy birthday to you. I had to do that. Yeah, I know, Zimmer. You show up and I shut down. I'm shitting down? I didn't think I was shitting down. I know that's what you were saying. I'm just messing with you. Everybody have a great evening. Mr. Rass Harass. Hey, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Mr. Rass Harass's stream, subscribe. He's got some great videos. Definitely go and check his stuff out. Go sub to Pastor Jack. I know he's trying to get his channel up and going again. There's a lot of them in here. Yeah, Yuki is not an Aussie. Yeah, not a very big night, but I had quality in my stream instead of quantity tonight. Everybody take care, and we'll be back on tomorrow night from the garage with a cigar chat. And we're about ready to blow up this very round and globe-like planet. This is not a flat planet. This is very globe-like. And we're going to blow one up. We blow one up every stream. I got to change the dates on that because it's not accurate anymore. Good night, everybody.